The one that is going on now currently in New York is really about election interference. It is about trying to prevent the people of our country from having relevant information that may have influenced how they could have voted in 2016 or whether they would have voted. The former president knew exactly what he was doing when he went to such great lengths to try to squash, bury, kill stories, pay off people.
Okay. Apparently, Hillary Clinton doesn't remember good old Bill Clinton paying Paula Jones $850,000 to drop a sexual harassment lawsuit in 1998. Short memory Hillary. So, over the past 72 hours, we've heard all about a billionaire who apparently wears silk pajamas. Again, that is not out of the ordinary. A luxury, yes, but not out of the ordinary. We've also heard Stormy describe how she spanked Trump with a magazine and that Trump was in bed wearing boxers in a T-shirt. Again, not out of the ordinary. Pretty normal, actually. But none of this, again, has anything to do with the case where Alvin Bragg is trying to convince this 12-person jury that Trump conspired to steal the 2016 election by suppressing this whole story, which, again, is not a crime. It's also not a crime to suppress politically damaging information. Hunter Biden laptop, table for one, happens all the time. So where are we now? Well, we continue to wait for the prosecution to actually start prosecuting the case against Donald Trump, the case of allegedly falsifying business records to conceal a payment by Michael Cohen to Stormy Daniels, a misdemeanor, by the way, for anyone not named Donald Trump, a bookkeeping error at very best. Here's Trump today after court.
I'm not supposed to be here. We are so innocent. There's never been anything like it. Read every single analyst, legal analyst. I'm innocent, and I'm being held in this court with a corrupt judge who's totally conflicted. Take a look at his conflict. It's a disgrace to the city of New York, to the state of New York, and to the country.
All right, so what's really going on here in Lower Manhattan? The case is really more about trying to rough up Trump 5.5 months from Election Day by dragging out this middle-aged porn star, build her up like she's suddenly Saint Stormy, and have Saint Stormy tell a tawdry little tale from 18 years ago about the time that she slept with a billionaire, a TV star from The Apprentice. The problem, of course, is that none of it's true, and even if it is true, it's not against the law, and Americans have known about Stormy and the Access Hollywood tape and everything else for almost 10 years. And how about this? According to a Rasmussen poll, this week, Donald Trump has a 10-point lead over Joe Biden, and Democrats just can't stand it. They don't understand how it's possible. Americans know who Trump is. He was president for 4 years, and unlike Joe Biden, he's got a record that he can actually fall back on. And unlike Joe Biden, who, according to a Gallup poll this week, has got the lowest approval rating on the economy in U.S. history, and CNN actually asked him about it.
The cost of buying a home in the United States is double what it was when you look at your monthly costs from before the pandemic. Real income, when you account for inflation, is actually down since you took office. Economic growth last week, far short of expectations.
And just a reminder, the media wants you to think that the White House has absolutely nothing to do with this trial, but that's just not true either. They do. It's undeniable. This guy right here, name Matt Colangelo, was the former number 3 at the Department of Justice not so long ago. He left a very cushy job at the Biden DOJ, where at age 48, pretty young guy, had a seemingly bright future. But then he suddenly decided to leave that job and go and work as a rank-and-file prosecutor in New York City, which makes no sense. Nobody would do that. It's a step down professionally. But Matt Colangelo wanted to do this. The former number 3 at the Biden DOJ suddenly decided he wanted to move to New York, which is awful, and work for Alvin Bragg, which is even worse, okay? He is a White House hired gun. They like him so much that a few weeks ago he delivered the opening statement against Donald Trump. So now, in the not-so-distant future, it's going to be up to 7 men and 5 women on the jury to decide the fate of a former president. And Democrats are hoping that the addled, atrophied 81-year-old in the White House will be campaigning against a convicted felon in the not-so-distant future. But after today, it's not looking good.